RaRa analyzes Lilo and the rest of the team's vitals. Physically, they look healthy. On the screen, Lilo and company are endowed with a full-body water solution placed in human-sized incubators. All of them vertically float inside the solution. They reside in a nearly empty room, designed specifically for simplicity. Giant LED screens, tinted, are scattered along the cement walls, providing the only light besides the team's blinking electrodes and oculus. Inside the incubator, they wear a synthetic bodysuit, black and meshy, made of a conductive polymer polysynthous that can store alpha radiation through molecular silver fragments. Their electrodes are wirelessly connected to a radiated transformer. This transformer is a red metal machine that is highly conductive and the size of a vehicle's battery. It's square, compact, and enclosed in plexiglass. The radiated transformer is necessary for the transmission of alpha WVs to the users in the incubators. While RaRa examines the team's physical observations, he mulls over the recent events that led to Alexandria's destruction. Things have gotten really bad. I never thought I'd see the day the world would have to evacuate Alexandria. Especially because of artificial intelligence. Everyone uses this stuff. RaRa opens the analytics for the team's tech, continuing to monitor their safety. Everything seems to be optimal. The incubator's solution is decaying all hazardous radiation. The alpha radiation is being absorbed through the polysynthous suit, and the transformer is transmitting alpha waves to HRAD. RaRa then opens the team's internal data. Charts related to each team member open and provide intel on their vital organs, motor functions, nervous system, and more. If it wasn't for Lilo creating this superb setup, it'd be no hope in beating the princess or preventing casualties on the platform. We'd be just like any other pixel using the foot incubation method, RaRa cogitated while studying the data. I just want to know who created this sick game. The science behind it is evolutionary. It uses alpha waves and alpha radiation to power its system, allowing for the creation of real-world environments and augmented mental and physical effects. The mainframe system, its cloud, servers, and power grid are all a mystery, encrypted with an unknown form of radiation. RaRa closes the data on their internal organs and audits the screen to the live recording of Alexandria. The once gorgeous city is in pieces, memorized with rotten debris. Black and white smoke flows through Alexandria as if it were a chimney. Stains of blood remind RaRa of the princess's most recent attack, her most vicious attack. Robotic limbs waste with the debris residing myriad throughout the country. He remembers fallen Alexandrians, organizers, reality disruptors, librarians, board members, and intellects. Then he remembers the nauseous odor and the ostentatious radiation exposure in Alexandria, since the princess used her inertia UV bomb. He begins to choke up, his fingers sweat, along with his back, while his breathing quickens. She's the first intelligence to become fully augmented, and she was able to do this her first time visiting reality. And ever since, for the past 2 weeks, she's been hiding creating programs, robots, and subscribers that she uses to track us down, RaRa thought traumatically. He leered at the white donut-shaped machine that had caused Alexandria so much trauma. He thought about just destroying it, but knew that'd do nothing but trap his teammates on the wicked device. His attention diverted centimeters above the hole in HRAD. 4 COD devices levitated in a magnetic arena. He then caressed his own COD device. It's on us now, he thought. RaRa is now engrossed with Alexandria's past. The dean and all the board members are gone, and they can't come back until we fancy what HRAD started. The whole world is relying on Alexandria. Natara is relying on Alexandria. Without Alexandria, this new world might just destroy itself. RaRa meditates on the fact that now the world needed the reality disruptors more than ever. He, just like his teammates traveling the platform, are possibly the only people who can stop the princess and the platform, the 4 proctors and the perfector. We have to do something, pulsated in his head, along with the thoughts of finding the host, finding the princess, finding the power grid, and protecting Lilo. He revokes his adolescent dream of making it to Alexandria, proving he has the wit to do so, along with bearing combative techniques. He never thought that he'd be recruited by the dean himself to partake in an augmented force, with the infamous Lilo, the librarian. A dream come true for RaRa, but now his dream is an augmented nightmare. The world's tech and data center is destroyed with an artificial intelligence looking to leave the country and take over the world. His family, his homeland, Natara, is in danger like everyone else, and if the princess can make it to Natara, RaRa knows the casualties will be devastating. No matter what, she won't leave this country, RaRa whispered, traversing through the information on the computer screens. That's why I'll die protecting Lilo and the solar flare EMP. Different programs and data drown RaRa's prominent screens, while the other screens continue to run essential functions. RaRa is now searching the computer stringently for something of obvious importance. While searching, his thoughts recede to 48 hours before the team's journey onto the platform. The team has just been alerted to clues about another intelligence being active, and subtle information of citizens still roaming the platform, led by an unknown encrypted intelligence. Lilo analyzes the data at a supercomputer to further inquire about their unavoidable situation. These signs point to a takeover, but is it the princess planning it, or this new one? She ruminated. Her team is carrying on with their duties, while a few members question and study their leader. Can we even stop two intelligences right now? The whole country was just evacuated, including the rest of the Reality Disruptors. Kadara asked aggressively. We have to. There's no one else who'd be able to. But if you want to leave, you can, Lilo responded as she ran diagnostics on the data. How was she able to become fully augmented Lilo? I need to know, Kadara. Are you willing to be here? We don't have room for doubt. Kadara looked at her leader with contempt. Yes, Captain. Good, and to answer your question, I don't know. I think it's due to her being active for a year, but it may also be due to intense machine learning. Either way, she and HRAD have to be stopped, along with this new intelligence. I can't believe this. The princess attacked almost 2 weeks ago, and now there's another intellignese. What the hell is going on? Electron vivaciously asked. I can call back up from Natara Lilo. We can get a team and take her down, RaRa said. We had a team and lost 1/4 of them to the princess. A new team of inexperienced members would do nothing but slow us down. Right now, we have to go for quality over quantity. There is no need to risk anyone else's life. I hate the fact that you guys are here, to be completely honest. But look around, guys. This is our team. The team had gathered around Lilo, who still sat at her supercomputer. She had just made the HRAD diagnostics active and displayed it to her team. She tracked the development of alpha waves and codes connected to HRAD's network, but was still unable to identify the intelligence roaming the platform. Calvary, Electron, Kadara, and RaRa analyzed the data standing behind their leader. With all those pixels active, it can only mean that there are citizens still on the platform, Calvary stated. The princess isn't using any citizens, though, Electron said. It must be this new intelligence, but how? Lilo questioned. Lilo continued to search for clues on identifying this new intelligence. The usual method wasn't working. For some reason, this intelligence was invisible, but there were 2 alpha-radiated programs active on the platform's network. Her team watched as their brilliant leader pursued an end to their torment. It was evident through her typing she wanted this done as quickly as possible. She then used her COD device to create a sample program based off the intelligence data and clone it, revealing the other intelligence as Bahar of Pasia. So, his name is Bahar. That's the new guy, huh? Electron asked. How do we find him? Kadara asked. I don't know yet, but we are going to have to make a trip on the platform. So what's the plan, Lilo? There are 2 active intelligences. One just destroyed our country and finds a way to find us once we resurface. The second, we know nothing about. It's the first time 2 intelligences have been active, and the new one has citizens under their control. And we can't forget the princess is aware that you have the key to the solar flare EMP, RaRa stated. Lilo meditated on the words of her comrade. How is any of this possible? For HRAD to run one AI, it eats at the alpha waves needed to run the program. So how can 2 be active? Lilo mediated. We can't let this other one find out about the solar flare EMP, Electron said. Just follow me like always. We have the transformer incubation method, our satellite technology, our isotope encryption, the code numbers, our COD devices, and more. I've been fighting this thing for 4 years now. We'll find a way, just trust me. Because if worse comes to worse, I'll just short-circuit and take the princess with me. What? Calvary exclaimed. The rest of the team stared with concern. We can't let her get the key to the solar-flared EMP. There is a lot we have to protect. You all know how valuable Alexandria is. The world union could fall without Alexandria. And if the princess escapes, the fact is that she is truly the most perfect intelligence we've fought, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to protect you all and Alexandria. It's why I've risked my life for 4 years. And if things get real bad, then from the ashes we will rise. What do you mean? RaRa asked. Let's hope we don't have to find out, Lilo stoically said. No matter what, she can't become aware of the Gulf of Creation and the Space Initiative, Lilo ruminated. For now, we'll prep to upload to the platform and figure out which intelligence is planning a takeover. RaRa, I'll need you to stay behind this time. You have the best combative technology, and we might need that. Is she really planning to short-circuit? What about finding the host? Does she trust us that much? RaRa pondered. RaRa activates the file he is desperately searching for, eliciting him back to reality. The file is titled RoboDog. This is it. I just created him a couple days ago, but hopefully it can get us a lead. He releases the device with hope of finding clues to the princess's power grid or locating her active subscribers. All right, he should be able to track unregistered networks and transmissions on HRAD. Worst case, it should help find the princess subscribers who have to be using the foot incubation method. The robotic dog exits from a charging pod. The dog leaves the bunker and pioneers to Alexandria. It digs a tunnel to the surface, beginning its exploration. Please, we need something. A camera relays every piece of information the robotic dog receives. RaRa has his eyes glued to the screen, watching like a parent. The robotic dog roams Alexandria, gathering nothing but invaluable information. Where the hell could she be? RaRa thought. The screen depicts the deceased bodies of Alexandrian citizens, rotten from radiation poisoning. Broken oculus and wasted robots continue to dominate the scenery. I hope whoever created this platform is forced to travel the Gulf of Creation forever, RaRa muses. He continued to watch the dog. If only the princess was still connected to HRAD. Right now, there's no way to track her. RaRa slams his fist on the desk, frustrated. He analyzes the data the dog is attracting, but it is all useless information, nothing they have not concluded themselves. The alpha waves and radiation the dog traces is disconnected from the princess. It faintly traces HRAD. RaRa presses the return command, retrieving the robotic dog, who trots back to the bunker. It could barely even find alpha waves transmitting from Alexandria's substation to HRAD. The dog was able to do that during the tests. What the hell is going on? Maybe she reconfigured the transmission waves or changed the power grid's output range. But how could she have that much control? Could it be the host? E! 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 A red exclamation point covers the vital signs of the Reality Disruptors in the platform. RaRa paramountly clicks and clacks his keyboard. He navigates through page after page. He looks at the video relay of the team in the incubators. Everything seems to be normal. He looks at their lifelines. They've dropped tremendously, currently at 75%, then 74%, then 73%. What is going on? The robotic dog walks through the secure doors of the bunker, resting at its charging station. His COD device beeps and blurts. He has just received an SOS message from Lilo. He prepares to eject the group from the platform when his screens are wiped black. Wait, what's going on? Binary codes take over the screen. Ones and zeros format into TP. RaRa is astonished. His eyes widen. His feet unconsciously drift the wheels of his chair away from the screen. A mute gasp is all he can gather. A message is then revealed. You can't find me, but I can find you. The screens regain access to their graphic interface. How'd she manage to access the network? It's encrypted through a rare plutonium isotopic key. RaRa hurries through the screens of HRD and the Disruptors. He is trying to release the team from the platform, but the radiation sensors ring simultaneously. They alert RaRa to the gathering of alpha radiation in the area. The security cameras of Alexandria show the princess's army headed toward the bunker of the Reality Disruptors. Perfect timing, RaRa satirically said. He analyzes the data for the radiated transformer. It's leaking. Someone's using Lilo's algorithm that jams transmission with microwaves. To fix this, I'll need to configure the radiated transformer and run the alpha plant program. I don't have the time for that. He sends Lilo a message alerting her that the bunker is under attack. After pressing send, the area is bombarded with explosions. The walls tremble thunderously. M, H, M, M, M. A loud hum is heard. RaRa checks the cameras and beholds hundreds of horseman robots, robots that have 4 legs and a robotic torso with 2 arms and a head. He also notices a humongous drilling rig that seems to be more advanced than contemporary technology, possessing automated features. She's straight to business. She really wants Lilo. He clicks and clacks on his metallic keyboard. His fingers travel the map of the letter keys. The rhythm of every clack is from experience. Tiny chip inscriptions from integrated circuits stretch horizontally through the keyboard. They creep with a bright white light, flickering in a synchronized pattern of 3 seconds. RaRa is so distracted protecting the bunker, he never notices that his message did not deliver to Lilo. The earth quakes ferociously, and the bunker shakes with dust and debris. The loud hum and patter rattle the bunker's metals. Sweat drips from RaRa's face as he scattered types. He studies Lilo and the Reality Disruptors, focusing on their lifespan, which has now dropped to 70%. The bunker is now a canoe, and the horsemen are the river that rocks it back and forth. The lead walls mimic glass windows cracking from pressure. Screws and frames fall from the bunker's sky like rain. RaRa proactively uploads a program. A highly conductive gas from a metal mineral known as fracniod, presented as Frac O2 sub, is released. Explosions insinuate each chemically reacting to the other. The humongous drilling rig is destroyed. A ball of fire ignites around the drilling rig, while wreckage flies through the area. The demonstrative quakes cease, but the horsemen still parole. "This might be a first, but thanks for the gulf of creation," RaRa concerningly said. An alpha radiated photonic laser whistles to the bunker's door. RaRa clicks and clacks his keyboard. The algorithm screen is dominant once again, and he runs a program titled Calvary. "I'm protecting this bunker," he said. He draws another keyboard from inside his keyboard, while code dominates his screen. An approximately 5 by 3 meter cabinet of alluring metal machinery straddled in a glass cabinet abides to the side of RaRa's desk. Inside the cabinet is the hardware of the computer systems for the bunker. Lights blink, disks run, machines hum, and cooling blows. The hardware is top tier. It is made of a glazing platinum metal. It runs using icelec transistors and is automated and able to perform simple physical tasks on its own. The machinery is an advanced system encrypted with the Reality Disruptors isotope encryption. Due to RaRa starting the Calvary program, this machine inserts a 1-of-1 manual circuit disk. On the camera screen, a satellite releases a probe, a transponder, into the stratosphere. From the ground and skies, drones and robots invade the area under RaRa's control. The drones come in 2 sizes, one only 1 by 1 meter, in a compact disc shape, and one in the likeness of a helicopter chopper. The robots are made of pure titanium and enhanced with many amenities: guns, lasers, bombs, combat, and swordsmanship. They take the form of humans standing on 2, having arms, legs, and a face, but are patently robotic. His Calvary is in the estimates of 500 utensils, numerating both the drones and robots. Superior to the Princess Horseman robots, which totals 200 utensils. The program runs on the majority of the computer screens. The only other screens occupied are the vitals and video of Lilo and the rest of the Reality Disruptors, which sit to the far right of the monitor setup. The program relays real-time feedback from every robot under RaRa's control. It relays the amount of energy around the robots and upon them. The devices summoned have motion sensors, which allow for automated computation, giving the robots the ability to defend themselves. The user is also given commands suggested for defense or offense based on the automation, for more impactful and practical functions. If the user would like to control the robots manually, they would use the suggested commands. The commands are in the form of symbols, keyboard keys, related to the operation. If a robot needs to defend a keyboard symbol, will be presented. If one needs to attack, an alternative symbol will be provided. The letters are assigned to subcategories for attacks and defense, giving every move a key on the keyboard. Intense functions, functions that use electromagnetic radiation, are commanded by a word database and keyboard shortcuts. The user can command the robots due to the icelec chip, an element developed from Comet Ice. If the user misses a command, then the robots rely on their automated functions, which are inferior to human intuition. With such a complex system, the user is forced into a seriously tedious situation, having to watch the screen at all times, waiting for the suggested commands, and executing them within milliseconds of another. The keyboard implemented into the hardware uses alpha waves to connect to the robots and the nuclear satellite. The program is unable to use augmented capabilities, but can power 500 automated utensils. With the program active, RaRa types furiously as he completes the algorithm to run the functions and operations. The robot's visuals are relayed through monitors, showing 5 different viewpoints. RaRa possesses the option to switch between which robot he uses to view the battle. He decides to use an aerial sight from the satellite, along with 4 drone views. The princess's army sends expressive explosions and ballistical bombs to deter their new foe. They fight with drills, swords, and bows and arrows. They battle at intense speeds, and some of her robots begin to fly, turning into self-detonating missiles, destroying a few of RaRa's choppers and drones. Her horsemen react rhythmically with battle, using combative ones to attack and bow blasters for cover fire. The drones of RaRa attack back using fracniod weapons. They use gas to reflect energy, drop fructono bombs, release conductive fracniod gas, and shoot ultrasonic bullets that blow up on impact. His robots also raid. Some fight combatively, some use swords harnessing electromagnetic radiation, some use bombs, and some use isilic guns. The horseman robots' bow and arrows destroy RaRa's robots on impact. RaRa's drones use fracniod to reflect the energy of the self-detonating horsemen. Bombs shoot like stars across the battlefield. The dings of metal sing. Robots are decapitated, and smoke acts like fog and washes over the feud. Full war has broken out in Alexandria, with the princess's might being on full display. Alexandria is a war zone. Radiation pollutes the air, and the bruising attacks add to Alexandria's newfound destruction. Updates reveal that RaRa is losing utensils quicker than the princess, and his ratio continues to dwindle. The horsemen robots subjugate more of the Calvary. They now use fission-enhanced power. RaRa wonders where she created a fission reactor so discreetly. How do I stop her? He pondered. He is neurotic, meeting an extension of this artificial intelligence once again. Its creations are strong. I need to do something to protect this bunker. He continues to type on his keyboard as if he were writing a paper, moving with urgency as if this hypothetical paper was a day late. Radiation frequencies are increasing exponentially when caution signs wail on the far right column of the screens. The lifespan of the team is dropping rapidly from a level of 65 out of 100. An intercom plays throughout the city. I know where she is, RaRa. There is nothing more you can do. You have served her well, now give up. RaRa glances at the team's feedback. He notices that their transformer is leaking more radiation. Ah! 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 The program rang with alerts, another caution sign, this time red, alerting RaRa to an eighth of his Calvary being destroyed. He is forced to regain focus. Damn, Lilo, what's going on? Is it Bahar? He's 3 days old, unless he and the princess are working together. RaRa, distraught, thought. He continues his glorious efforts when all his drones are fried due to ionizing frequencies in the air. Fission chain reactions from the horsemen attacks produce translucent clouds of electrons. The horsemen control these frequencies and scatter lightning through the sky. The lustrous green lightning destroys the acylic transistors within the drone chips. The drones and chopper fall to the ground, creating one big brouhaha. This is getting bad, he frantically thought. RaRa now sits with only 100 robots compared to the princess's army of 175. RaRa knew he couldn't lose this bunker. If the princess gets access to Lilo's mind and finds out how to break through the solar flare EMP, the world will be doomed. He had no choice but to use his intense function, powered by intense UV radiation. 75 of his robots began to combine, turning into huge mechas in the likeness of warriors, all standing 5 meters tall. The remaining robots received surges of power and repulsion armor from a withdrawal of electrons. The perpetual battle ensues. The mechas fly, surrounding the horseman robots in the sky. RaRa's grounded robots surround the horsemen on legs, repelling their fission power and paralyzing their movements. The mechas assail from the sky with fists and feet toward the immobilized robots. The horseman robots create a magnetically charged force field embedded with enough fission energy to use heat as a repulsive explosion. RaRa studiously completes each function, moving with urgency because his life depends on it. On the HRAD platform, Lilo and the Reality Disruptors are frozen by Bahar's abilities. Lilo uses her Oculus to send an SOS message to RaRa, using only her eyes. Bahar circles the Reality Disruptors, meticulously analyzing their every feature. His army spirals from their radius, circling Bahar and the Reality Disruptors, bowing, still accumulated to hundreds. The desert is barren and brown, while dark skies and damp air fill the atmosphere. The crack of sunlight is prosaic, illuminating the ambiguous dusk surrounding Bahar. The Perfector, I have news about my sister, your imperfect creation, the princess. Creation? What is he talking about? Electron asked in anguish. While Bahar speaks and Electron questions his integrity, Lilo places her efforts into formatting an escape. She uses a stored antenna to use the platform's transmission lines to connect to the alpha waves. She uses a pulse of microwaves to restart her transistors. She then performs an algorithm that uses plutonium to decay and release intense radiation through electromagnets. Two thin magnetic disks spin parallel at ultraviolet frequencies. At speeds undetectable to humans, radiation flows through their location in the platform, creating a yellow, distorted haze amongst the pixels. Their movements are then slightly eased from Bahar's jamming trap, but still lack full mobility. You always react in perfect timing. Bahar's army of pixels stands attentive. They are ready to zap. Lilo looks at her team, who stand battered, grimacing. She slowly turns her head back to the army of pixels. If she was supposed to be worried, she didn't show it. Barely able to stand, she wades, grabbing her COD device. She notices her lifespan is now at 68 out of 100. She uses her stylus to draw up an algorithm, finished off with Ronda's Robotics. Dust and debris swoosh and form into three rusty metallic robots made of Franciplutin A, radioactive metal, created by Lilo charged through fission, using the icylic crystal as its form of transistors. The robots are powered by neutron energy from a fission processing command transferred to the robots through the conducting capabilities of the acylic crystal and the platform's alpha waves. Lilo, new tricks? I must take notes because I might not ever be able to travel the Gulf of Creation. Lilo stays disciplined and commands the robots to attack. He knows about the Gulf of Creation? How? Could she? Ronda's robotics move at inhumane speeds, quicker than a blur, quicker than sound, a speed inferior to time and light only. Quickly, 1/4 of the army is destroyed and extrapolated from the platform. Lilo, the citizens! Don't worry, I embedded the attacks with an eject glass carried through the robot debris. Whenever Ronda's robotics attacks, the citizens are ejected due to the glass reacting to their alpha radiation. Bahar once again is impressed by Lilo, but uses his superb AI capabilities to slow down Ronda's robotics. He releases a direct current of similar magnetic force and field, hindering the movements of the robots and causing intense pain for the Reality Disruptors. The magnetic force he releases repels the fission energy away from Ronda's robotics. The team's COD devices become defective. Neither can link to the HRAD transformer, even with the plutonium magnetic disk active. Lilo, I have some information for you. There is no need for us to fight. I'm here to help. Help with what? She struggled to ask. How is he able to access so many algorithms? It takes an experienced intelligence 3 days to remember one full algorithm. He's only 3 days old and has so far used 3 algorithms, she anxiously ruminated. I'm going to help stop the princess. I won't let her become the host. Her horseman lineage is tainted from pillaging. I won't stand by and watch the group of people who killed my fiancé and took Passia continue to reign. Her plans even include killing you, creator. Lilo is in disbelief, her eyes widen with despair. She contemplates Bahar's attachment to a past life. She knows that the intelligences created by the platform are programmed to mimic cultural and historical figures and empires. She begins to deduce that his functioning has given him either a fake timeline or the actual memories of an ancient man from Passia, since Passia's empire was destroyed thousands of years ago. Just like her regret, she hides her thoughts. Her fears have become a reality. The platform developed an intelligence that can update with augmented capabilities and perform a complete takeover. She knew this day would come, but it always felt distant. Do you mean she is strong enough to control the platform? How? Who made her? She is not strong enough yet. She is working on it as we speak. Thanks to the last of Ronda's research, the princess was able to find the files on her beta lithography, the same science she used to create Zeke, the host of HRAD, the intelligence who took you in Ronda's place. What? What do you mean? Who is Zeke? And Ronda? She died years ago. What the hell are you saying? The reality disruptors are lost in confusion. They look at one another bewildered and in pain. They are unable to fully stand and all take a knee except for Lilo. She stands staggered. Lilo, what is he talking about? Who is Ronda? Calvary asked with a grimace. Why did he call you his creator, Lilo? What is going on here? Electron asked. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I need you all to escape first. How the hell are we going to do that? We can barely move, and our COD devices are down. Our hard drives are out too. We don't have enough power to self-eject. We're still proctors at the end of the day. Even if you're proctors, some of you can do things I can't. Just give me some time and I'll tell you. First, I just need a couple of answers from Bahar. Lilo and Bahar glare into the other's oculus. Bahar's army is ready to pounce once given the right command. Lilo is barely able to stand. The sheer thought of gaining such valuable information takes priority over her health. Her vision procures her lifeline, draining from 60%. She ignores the flags and errors, continuing to trudge through the magnetic field. She looks directly at Bahar, taking one final step. Her body buckles and shakes vigorously, while Bahar sits in awe. Bahar, tell me more about Zeke, beta lithography, and the princess. Do you not know who Zeke is? I don't. Who is he? What does he have to do with anything? He's the host of HRAD, the intelligence that has run the platform and continued to create all other intelligence, commissioned to do so through the perfector code you and Ronda helped create. She left him to watch over the platform, similar to a king, no, God, giving him the key, a beta chip. Lilo's skin becomes pale. Questions traverse through her head. She cogitates if Ronda did such a thing. Lilo knew Ronda had issues, but they both agreed to stop their research. She thought back on their discussions towards the end of their experiments, the promise that the two insisted on keeping after such traumatic and immoral failures. Regret reeks upon Lilo once again. She is at fault for this occurring. If she just continued the research or made amends, maybe Ronda would still be alive. Maybe she would have been aware of Zeke. Maybe the princess would have never existed, and maybe Alexandria doesn't get destroyed. Another imperfection, another failure, she thought. Ronda, she thought of her, the first time she had met her, then the tragic day of her death. She let everyone down, even her teacher, her partner, Ronda. Zeke is the platform host, and Ronda created him to do so. Is that what you're telling me? Lilo asked, soft-spoken. Yes. Lilo turns to her team. They are skittish about Bahar's words. Unable to bear the pain, they kneel in agony. They glare at Lilo, an expression forced from their misunderstandings. Guys, get out of here. Electron use... What do you mean? We aren't leaving. I've got some questions for you, Lilo. No way I'm leaving now. Electron said, interrupting his leader. Lilo, what's going on? What the hell is this intelligence saying? Kadara asked. Kalari's silence was enough to speak to Lilo. She gazed at her leader and felt betrayed. She realized from this conversation that Lilo has been hiding something. The woman she looked up to, risked her life for, whom she aspired to be, has been keeping secrets about such a deadly platform. I'm sorry this was never supposed to get this bad. I promise I never wanted this to happen, Lilo said sympathetically. Don't apologize, Lilo. What you and Ronda did changed Alexandria, and will soon change the world. You've created a perfect system. Bahar! Shut up! Lilo is overwhelmed. She can't stop recalling memories of Ronda. She can't stop reflecting on her past. She inspires the memory of her thesis of life, to perfect the world through culture and history. Back then, Lilo had a big heart. She reminisces on those times, prominently, studying under Pal the Wise. She transitions to her adolescent dissatisfaction with other countries, and how the immoral use of science cultivated her rebellious science. Now she is the woman who has to repel a rebellion. The Space Initiative, the World Union, my family. If I allow anything else to fall because of my past, I won't be able to live. She doesn't have time to loathe in self-pity, nor ask for forgiveness. She must perfect her imperfections. That's what she believed, and it is what she plans to do. She regathers her thoughts and takes a deep breath. What are the princess's plans, Bahar? Lilo asked. Lilo, are you bipolar? Answer the question. You're here to stop her, right? She plans on becoming the host, killing you, our living creator, and taking down the solar flare EMP to build a pantheon and revive the horseman culture. Can she do that? Yes, she's in the process of it right now. All she needs is a beta chip and human flesh. She has implanted a virus upon Zeke and plans to shut him down as well as me, but I'll stop her. For your sake, Lilo, and for my people of Passia, I won't let the princess continue this reign. Viruses impetuously fall from the sky of Bahar's desert. Their Oculus recognizes the attack as coming from the princess's language. Bahar's subscribers begin to freeze and lag one by one. His army soon becomes completely immobilized. Bahar's magnetic force field is disrupted, along with the COD devices belonging to the Reality Disruptors. The plutonium disk Lilo coded vanishes, and the virus begins to slowly affect Lilo and her team, each beginning to stutter after breaking free from Bahar's hold. It looks like she found us, Lilo. I'm going to take her down. Before I go, Perfector, if the princess can use the beta chip, she will destroy Zeke and HRAD. Worse, she will come for you. Something we can't let happen. Her power will be overwhelming and her learning unhinged. The platform will be hers, and the solar flare EMP is likely to fall after. Lilo looks at Bahar as his pixel malfunctions. She won't have to come for me because I'm coming for her. I'm destroying the platform, the princess and Zeke. I created this mess and I will finish it. I owe it to Alexandria. Well, if that is how it goes, so be it. You have my gratitude, my perfector. I serve you and Zeke, Bahar said as he vanished. I'll take you out with the platform, Bahar, because you're my ticket to the mainframe system, Lilo poured. Lilo couldn't help but think how far from perfect she in this situation had spiraled into. The first intelligence to become augmented is aware of the host and holds a goal to revive her lineage, as well as usher in a pantheon. She assumes the intelligence created a separate network and mainframe by now, if she was able to place a virus on Zeke. Then there's Bahar, who is extremely capable and aware of Lilo's history, also having memories of a past life in Passia. Then Zeke, who created them both, and the 5 others. He uses some beta chip that Ronda created, granting him the host capabilities. She didn't think too long with the princess virus continuing to invade the platform. Their lifespans are draining profusely, starting at 55 and dropping steadily. Their COD devices are disconnected from the real world, and for some reason, RaRa didn't eject them, even though she sent the SOS earlier during the Bahar situation. Lilo is anxious but knows they have to escape. The survival of their world depended on her escaping and taking down the platform. This new information from Bahar couldn't have come at a better time. Now she just needs to find Zeke. First, she had to stop the princess from becoming a creator, from becoming the host. Lilo plans to repent for everything in her next move. She knew what she and Ronda did 8 years ago was wrong. Lilo needed to make things right. She still, deep down, hoped for a perfect world. She wants to fix this imperfection and finally save Alexandria, but alone like she had started, because this was her sin, her secret. It was bottling up, causing her relationship with her father to crash, and her adornment in Alexandria to flourish. The secret that was just revealed. She began to search for a way off the HRAD platform. She only thinks of one option, one that damaged their vitals. But it had to be done because if RaRa wasn't responding, and the princess trapped them inside the platform, then it meant she found the bunker. The princess is coming for the queen. She's taking a leap, which means she's prepared to do whatever it takes to get out of Alexandria. I have to take her down before she becomes the host, even if I have to use our hidden satellites. Electron Dash. Lilo, are you kidding me? Explain what's going on, who is Ronda, and why did Bahar, your creation, say that Zeke replaced you and her as the host? Kadara interrupted, resisting her urge to scream. You were listening? Well then you know we have to leave. The princess found us, I'll explain later. Before anyone can speak again, their pixels glitched tremendously, flickering and buzzing. They quickly returned to normal. We have to hurry, it's getting bad. We are already experiencing physical effects in the real world. Electron. No! Lilo, I need an answer. Did you create HRAD? Yes or no? Electron asked. Hi! A high-pitched noise tortured the ears of the team. Calvary's pixel is malfunctioning. It glitches and stays that way. The team watches in disbelief. Calvary! They all screamed. She didn't respond. She is distorted, and the ring of torture continues to scream in the background. Lilo theorizes that the virus is affecting the central nervous system of the user. She hypothesizes that this is a function that traps the user in the platform and causes a person to lose motor functions and brain damage. The function is draining their lifespan, affecting them physically, and will probably lock them on the platform. If she is planning to take me, she wouldn't risk destroying my brain. But regardless if we succumb to this virus, our nervous systems are prone to defects, and our minds would be uploaded until someone ejects us. She ruminated. Electron, use magnet dystrophy. What? Do it. Fine. Is this what she meant earlier? Electron pondered. Lilo tethered her and Electron's COD device, allowing him to use her alpha waves to run the program. Electron turns on his real-world senses and wakes up in his incubator still forcefully uploaded, trapped by the princess. The walls of the building have cracks, and debris is everywhere. He does not have the time to contend with this phenomenon. He studies Calvary's body, which seems fine from a visual. However, he could tell from his oculus that her nervous system was affected, with the first symptom being severe dehydration. He uses his oculus to react on the platform while mentally being in the real world. He only has a couple of minutes before his lifespan runs out, and he and the team are trapped like Calvary. Through his oculus, still submerged in the incubator solution, he runs a program where he activates two batteries constricted into tiny chips. He retrieves the chips from his dry fit suit and plugs the chips into his oculus, digitizing the batteries onto the platform. They take the form of two silver cylinders marked with a positive side and a negative side connected to a diode the size of a two-story building. These tiny chip batteries have an excessive amount of microscopic metals and chemical energy. Electron uses these batteries to absorb radiation and turn chemical energy into electricity. Electron is surprised she ordered this algorithm due to its effects on the physical body. The batteries react to the gravitational pull and actual mass of the user. The electric pulse causes the organs of a person to percolate and the energy inside their body to excite, causing a person's magnetic attraction to exponentially increase. He knows from the bunker walls and the continued rattling that he needs to hurry. He ceases his debate and runs the command bracing for impact against the magnetic rip about to shred through their body. Electron then uses Morse code to engineer a code number connected to HRAD's server to run the program. Having me use a code number must mean it's our only option. He beeps the code number 0001:0010 into his Oculus to run the program. The power of the batteries creates an obliterating magnetic force of energy that rips into the alpha waves connected to the platform in milliseconds. This generates an augmented wormhole and a devastating electric pulse. The digital diodes send out a quick, heavy shockwave full of static and turbulence. The diode releases it through alpha electricity, ripping the alpha waves in the platform. A dot of a bright gray light expands with the visual disturbance of frequencies, eventually covering the whole site they reside on in a gray grain. Lilo, Calvary, and Electron's pixels are subsequently erased. Electron wails in reality through the unbearable pain. He takes off his Oculus while he witnesses Lilo awaken in her incubator. Bruises are sporadically spread through each member's body. Electron and Lilo are the first of the group to exit their incubators. Calvary is incapacitated, while Calvary floats in her incubator unresponsive. Lilo and Electron, who focus on Calvary, are alerted to Calvary's solvent in her solution turning yellow. What's going on with Calvary? Electron asked. Lilo releases Calvary and Calvary from their incubators. The water evaporates through freezing and heating methods. They are caught by prepped gurneys as they fall from captivity. Lilo, bruised and battered, phrased to Calvary. Their bodies are not going to recover for days, but Calvary could be in immediate danger. She knew the yellow-colored solution meant blood loss, so she needed to find the problem. Calvary is being attended to by an automated program that runs if any of their bodies become defective, due to radiation, nervous system disorders, and brain disorders. Her body goes through extensive MRIs and tests. The youngest lady on the team is diagnosed with severe dehydration. She escaped before the central nervous system effects activated. Robotic nurses provide intravenous therapy for her recovery while also completing a neuron reception physical. Lilo uses a compact machine that releases electromagnetic specks through a light gray light to examine Kadara. The machine is similar to a security wand. The device provides a holographic breakdown of Kadara's internals. The appliance alerts Lilo that Kadara's body's gravitational pull lodged her necklace into her chest, absorbing radiation and causing heavy blood loss. Lilo keenly begins to search for a solution, an algorithm to help Kadara. Her body is experiencing radiation poisoning. She lost a lot of blood and is slowly beginning to lose motor functions. Lilo uses a nearby computer to set up surgery for Kadara through the medical program. Meanwhile, Electron leers at Lilo with contempt. He peers around the room, studies the incubators, observes the tech, and witnesses his two teammates try to recover from life-threatening injuries. Lilo! She ignores him and continues to type. While she types, she can hear the clinking and clanking of metal, the pops of bombs, and the click and clack of typing coming from the cyber room. He's fighting her right now. I don't have much time. Lilo cogitated. Lilo! Answer me! Electron, I don't have time for this. Go help RaRa. We have to. I'm not following any orders until I get the truth. Lilo continues to type. Lilo, would you stop and look? Things are out of control. We're risking our fucking lives for you. We deserve the damn truth. Lilo is finishing the requirements for Kadara's surgery. She runs the program, and the robot nurses begin to prep Kadara. Calvary wakes up fatigued from her injuries. She lies on a gurney, watching the frustrated Electron, who uses his eyes to leer through Lilo's soul as she stands to face him. The two stand approximately 2 meters away from each other. Electron is compressing his anger. His movements hold obvious tension, while he antagonistically points his finger at Lilo and speaks. He is trying to speak as slowly and softly as he can, unequivocally livid. Tell me the damn truth. Did you create this devil we're fighting? Are you the reason my father is dead? Lilo couldn't look Electron in the eye. She looked to the left, trying to avoid him, but caught Calvary's gaze. She looks away from Calvary and sees the incubator Kadara just exited from. She looks at the ground and sees her feet. She looks up to an inanimate metal ceiling. She closes her eyes and is surrounded by the sounds of war. These sounds replay her past, Pal the Wise, her previous instructor, the library, Ronda, the platform, and her tribulations from battles against intelligences. Electron's question was one she avoided for so long, one she thought she eluded due to her sacrifices, a pain she numbed through battle. Her demons, her imperfections, have just resurfaced. At this moment, Lilo envied the princess, a creation of perfect capabilities, one that had the ability not to make mistakes and had a code to follow. She just had one flaw, and that was that Lilo created her. You can't even say it, Electron said, exploding with anger. Calm down, Electron, Calvary whimpered. I can't. She's been lying to us. She created this monster. She's the reason Alexandria is destroyed. She's the reason so many people are dead and are going to keep dying. What were you thinking, Lilo? You and this Ronda wanted to play God. Electron grabbed Lilo by the collar, holding his boss indecently. Do you think I'm playing Lilo? Calvary limped over and gently grasped Electron's shoulder, asking him to calm down again. He lets Lilo go derelict and turns his back toward her. How could you trick us like this, Lilo? Electron asked. I never meant for it to be like this, I promise. I just wanted to create a better world. I wanted to be different than our leaders, Lilo bitterly responded. Electron bashfully faces Lilo. Why haven't you stopped it yet? If you created it, you should know how to stop it. Stop it, Lilo. Please stop it. Electron begged, sombering blindly. I can't. You know I don't know how. You created it? That's a long story. I just found out about Zeke myself, and I still don't know where the mainframe is. Ronda did something before she died. Who is Ronda? Calvary asked. She's my mentor, the woman who fueled the space initiative. Ronda Dorwin? Calvary asked sanguinely. Yes, she was my partner in creating the historical revolutionizing augmented database. Everyone believed you were a hero. You're just a fraud covering her tracks. I should kill you, right? Electron! Calvary screamed. No! She started this. She needs to be punished. She used us Calvary for her issues. I never wanted to involve anyone. The dean and the board forced me to. If I could, I'd have handled everything alone. They didn't force you to make this computer hell, so I don't want to hear it, Electron said. Calvary walks up to Lilo. She stops about half a meter in front of her. She looks her up and down as if she was her reflection. She gazes at her features, her freckles, her amber hair, her hazel eyes. She grabs Lilo's hand and analyzes her precious scars. She thought Lilo was so cool, a true martyr, but she still believes she is. She still felt she was the same Lilo, just with another story they didn't know about. "Why'd you do this, Lilo? What happened?" Calvary asked. Kaboom! A humongous explosion is heard as the doors of the bunker dent and the bunker clatters. They run into the cyber room and witness RaRa stressed while completing the Calvary program. "RaRa, what's going on?" Lilo asked. "She attacked. She came for you," he responded, while still focusing on the Calvary. On the screen, his robots have dwindled to one 5-meter mecha and 5 robots enhanced from the reverse bias, the repulsion in their titanium and ultraviolet energy. The princess still has an impressive amount of 75 robots. Smoke covers the screen while RaRa attends the program. His robots protect the entrance to the bunker. Lilo and the rest of the team line up behind RaRa, carefully watching the battle. "Is that the Calvary?" "Yes. I need Kadara to help me cool her robots. They're too strong. You guys can—" "Kadara's in surgery." Calvary is stunned. RaRa shakes his head to mourn, unable to take his eyes off the screen. "We need to do something. If she gets Lilo, the world is—" "I'm not doing anything until we find out if Lilo is working for the platform." "What is he talking about?" RaRa asked. "We met Bahar on the platform, and he gave us some information," Calvary said. "Did you take him down?" "No, we were ambushed by the princess, but he told us who the host is and who created him." "So he's not working with the princess," RaRa ruminated to himself. "Well, tell me," RaRa said, continuing to fend off the princess. "The host's name is Zeke and—" "Lilo, our hero created him," Electron satirically said. "What?" RaRa asked, taking a brief pause, resulting in the destruction of another robot. "Guys, I can't even catch up. I need some help." Electron uses his COD device to run a program that boosts the battery capabilities of RaRa's robots and absorbs the electrons from the princess robots through graphite rocks and magnetite rocks using the platform's augmented components. "I thought you were done doing things," Calvary asked. Electron ignores her banter and continues to assist RaRa, typing on his COD device. Lilo looks at the position her team is in. She looks at the state of Alexandria. Her bunker has been discovered, and she can't risk putting off the princess any longer. Then, after the princess is taken down, she'd have to worry about Zeke. She possesses the code number to shut the platform down. She just has to find Zeke and the mainframe system. She plans on finishing this alone because Electron was right. She was spurious, hiding. She played hero. No matter how she thought about it, she had sinned. Working on such immoral research, sacrificing lives, and falling victim to Ronda's obsession, just for her to achieve perfection and prove the world wrong. She was so defiant and believed in Ronda's and the platform's abilities. She thought what they were doing would lead to good. But it wasn't good, it was demonic. Her mother might have saved her through prayer, but Lilo never told anyone about her troubles. She didn't believe in religion anyway. She never believed in codes, which is why she stopped studying under Pal the Wise. She believed in facts, she believed in science like her father, the person who ignorantly cried for her to stop playing hero. She believed in history and cultures, and how the world could learn from the successes and failures of ancestors. She thought similar to the librarians who suggested she get help. She knows she owes everyone the truth. Her team, her family, and her country. She began to type on her COD device. "What are you doing now, Lilo? Quit being so furtive," Electron said. She continues to type. "How can we even trust you anymore?" Electron said, taking off his polysynthesis vest and slamming it to the ground. Suddenly, on the cameras, a satellite drops a small capsule, the size of a light bulb. Once the capsule reaches the atmosphere in the zenith of Alexandria, an X-ray EMP is detonated, wiping out all tech except the bunkers. X-rays flow audaciously through the essential elemental gases. RaRa's robots fall to the ground along with the princess. HRAD continues to run, but the princess can't control any real-world items connected to real-world networks. The group is out of the platform, and Bahar is on their side, so they have nothing to worry about at the moment. Bahar might even stop the princess during this time, something Lilo is not opposed to. It'd mean that she didn't truly fail. RaRa drops his hands from the keyboard and plummets his head to the desk exhaustedly. Thank you, he said, catching his breath. Lilo, we aren't fighting. We need answers, Electron said. That's why I used the EMP. No tech besides ours is running in the country. We have about 7 minutes. I'm going to tell you all about how I created HRAD and why I've been so intent on stopping it.